Coming up tonight on Primetime Local News, we talk with a fraud prevention educator who will be coming to Lloydminster. Plus, Father Gorman students made mental health bags as part of the Kindness Wins project. And our weekly feature of What's Happening.
Primetime Local News, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
The Saskatchewan Health Authority has responded to an issue raised at the Concerned Citizens for Seniors Care meeting earlier this week. Group member local Dr. Raf Saeed asked if hospital staff knew what the policy was for dealing with emergencies on hospital grounds, specifically because of an incident where someone died in the hospital lot after allegedly being refused help from staff despite being on hospital grounds. The SHA issued a statement to Primetime Local News which says, in part, the authority has had a policy in place with respect to responding to an unwell or injured person on SHA grounds since 2024. Prior to that, the Lloydminster Hospital followed a similar policy established by the former health region. It provides clear direction to staff on how to proceed should they find an injured person on SHA grounds and ensures the safety of the person receiving care, staff, and others who may be assisting in provision of care. Dr. Saeed expressed concern that hospital staff did not know about the policy. The health authority states staff are and physicians are made aware of policies and policy changes through regular internal communication. Grade 7 students in Lloydminster are doing their part to help those struggling with mental health. Arlene Hofford has more on the We Care kits they put together.
Students at Father Gorman took place in Kindness Wins by putting together We Care kits for mental health. The kits include snacks, hygiene items, and words of affirmation for those waiting a long time at the hospital during a mental health crisis.
So we are putting together We Care kits. So we got a grant from Border City to do something for Kindness Wins, which is why we're wearing the pink. So we decided to make We Care kits, which will support people who struggle with mental health crisis. So when you go to the hospital, sometimes you have to wait for a long time. So this way you'll get a bag and it has a sweet snack and a salty snack and things like that. So it takes care of your body. There are things to keep your mind busy while you wait.
Juanita Schwabius, a grade 7 teacher at Father Gorman, says that the We Care kits will not only be remembered by those who receive them, but the students will also have positive memories of the kindness they demonstrated by making the kits.
I think for the kids to see how that they're spreading love in our community for our most vulnerable citizens is very powerful, and they will remember this for a very long time.
The students believe that making these kits for people struggling with their mental health is very important because it gives them a chance to help someone through a dark time.
It's important to help people because you don't know what's happened that made them need mental help. So just knowing the fact that you could help them get through whatever they experienced is a very nice feeling.
The We Care kits are one part of what has been a huge push for kindness in Lloydminster. The kits, along with other things, prove that kindness always wins. Lane Hofford, Primetime Local News.
A wild festivity is happening at the Lloyd X today and throughout the weekend, showing off many different types of exotic animals. Cobb's Exotic Animal Rescue is holding a wildlife exhibit from sloths to capybaras to boa constrictors. Alongside the exhibits, there will be shows for people to enjoy and learn.
So we've got 3 main shows that we rotate throughout each of the days we're going to be here. We've got one where we talk about the differences between living things, so what makes a reptile different from a mammal kind of thing. We've got one where we talk about some of our animals that are from Africa, and then we've got one where we talk about which animals live in the jungles.
Cobb's Exotic Animal Rescue is a non-profit. Their goal is to teach people about animals that you don't typically see as pets. By hosting these events, they hope to spread their message about wildlife and nature.
A lot of our animals, they are in the pet trade for one reason or another, and we want to teach people about having these animals as pets so that they can consider whether they're actually good pets for them or not. And the more people know about animals and nature in general, the more likely they are to actually care about issues affecting these animals, like deforestation on the islands where some of our animals come from, and similar issues plaguing these animals.
The exhibit will run this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The annual Battle of the Badges is set for Saturday, and Irish Pub Night is planned for that evening as well. Heather Klages has more in this week's edition of What's Happening.
The annual Todd Gustafson Memorial Battle of the Badges, it's back and it's taking place tomorrow. You've got a chance to head out to the Civic Centre and watch members of the Lloydminster RCMP take on members of the Lloydminster Fire Department to see who wins this year's Todd Gustafson Memorial Battle of the Badges. And the community wins because with this hockey game, your admission, it's a monetary donation or a donation of non-perishable food items, and those donations will go to the Olive Tree, the Salvation Army, and Big Brothers Big Sisters of Lloydminster. Tomorrow, the doors open at 11:30. Puck drop is noon at the Civic Centre. Don't miss the Todd Gustafson Memorial Battle of the Badges. Celebrate St. Patrick's Day tomorrow night at the Border City Rotary Club's Irish Pub Night. So get your favorite green shirt, put on your favorite green hat, get a nice green necklace to wear, and then enjoy a night of fun. There's going to be great live music. Five on the Side will be performing throughout the evening. They always play fun games at Irish Pub Night, and there's going to be a green beverage or two that you can enjoy. Plus, when you head out to Irish Pub Night, you support Border City Rotary Club's youth and community-inspired projects. Tickets are selling quickly, though, so don't wait. For more details, head to the Border City Rotary Club's Facebook page. And coming up on Wednesday night, March 19th, right here at the Lloydex, it's a Lloydminster Community Round Dance and also the Spring Indigenous Makers Market. This is an opportunity to celebrate and support local Indigenous creativity and craftsmanship. Events run from 6:30 p.m. until 9:30 p.m. here at the Lloydex. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, we hope you stay safe and stay healthy.
What's Happening is brought to you by Northern Factory Workwear, Circle Drive East, Saskatoon, and Highway 17 South, Lloydminster.
I'm now joined here with our Lane Hofford. And Lane, we got some snow yesterday, but thankfully none today.
That's right. I prefer the snow where it is today, and that's on the ground instead of blowing around in the sky. Of course, still a bit of a, cooler day in Lloydminster, and that is looking to be kind of what it is this weekend. And, maybe we're going to see some snow fall over that weekend. Fingers crossed that we don't, but this weather, we can say what it is now, but it is quite unpredictable. You never know what could happen. But yeah, right now in Lloydminster, minus 12 with that wind blowing at 22 kilometers an hour, making it feel closer to minus 21. So 21-12 there for those Rush fans. The sun is out and there's no snow blowing around and very few clouds. So it is overall a nice day with, just a little bit of wind, and it's a bit cool, but no snow falling and blowing all over like yesterday. And you can see around the area, it's about the same everywhere. In Marwayne and Vegreville, minus 12, just like Lloydminster, and Wainwright as well. Lac La Biche and Edmonton, as well as Cold Lake and St. Paul and Provost are all minus 11, and Bonnyville and Vermilion are at minus 10. Over in Saskatchewan, much of the same in Isle La Crosse and Pierceland, as well as St. Walburg, Meadow Lake, and Macklin at minus 10, Maidstone minus 11, Green Lake at minus 9, and North Battleford at minus 10. Tonight in North Battleford, it is going to get down to minus 18. It is going to become clear and colder, so those clouds are going to go away, but those temperatures are going to go down as well. That wind will be blowing at 15 kilometers an hour, so not quite as windy as in Lloydminster, but still, decently windy. You will feel an extra few negative degrees in North Battleford. Now tomorrow in North Battleford, it's going to be minus 10, quite a similar day to today, with maybe just a few more clouds, especially in the morning, and then those clouds are going to be lower as the day continues. And fortunately for those in North Battleford, it won't be quite as windy. It'll just be 11 kilometers an hour and a very low chance of any precipitation of any kind. So should be a decent day in North Battleford. Tonight in Cold Lake, quite a chilly night. It's going to get down to minus 23, but it will be a clearer night and very cold, and there won't be a lot of wind, only a 25% chance of any precipitation. So once again, very low chance. Cold Lake is just going to have those colder temperatures, and that's going to be the extent. Tomorrow, Cold Lake, it's going to be minus 8 with plenty of sunshine, but still a very cold day. Now taking a look at tonight's forecast in Lloydminster, minus 18, partly cloudy and cold, and that wind is going to die down to 13 kilometers an hour. Now looking at tomorrow, 6 a.m. it'll be mostly clear and minus 17. Then those clouds are going to pick up and that temperature is going to go up to minus 13. And then 6 p.m. it's going to be partly sunny and minus 11, and then cloudy at midnight at minus 16. That wind isn't going to pick up to the same extremes as today. Now taking a look at our 3-day forecast, tomorrow will be very cold with a high of minus 10 and a low of minus 19. Those clouds won't be quite as prominent as they will be on Sunday. There will be a thick cloud cover and it will be very cold with a high of minus 8 and a low of minus 15. And then on Monday, low clouds and cold with a high of minus 6 and a low of minus 11. That is our first look at your evening weather. We'll be back with more news after the break.
Kitscoty Community Hall is holding their annual dinner theater in April. Abby St. John has more on this year's Prohibition-era themed show.
For the past 17 years, the Kitscoty Community Hall has been holding their annual dinner theater, and it's just a few weeks away here now this year. And I'm very happy to be joined by Julie Evans with the Community Hall to talk about this year's show. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Abby. It's great to be here.
Of course, and I'm happy that you're here as well because this dinner theater, like I said, it's the 17th year, and that's so exciting. So let's start off by talking a little bit about the history of the dinner theater and where it all started, and kind of fast forward to this year for this year's show.
All right. So it's actually been more than 17 years, but we had a few years that we couldn't run. And the dinner theater started when we started to really see the need for a place in our community where people could gather to celebrate, to share in their life experiences, and we saw the need for us to build a hall. So the dinner theater actually was running before the hall came into being and helped us to create that seed funding to build the hall. And now on an ongoing basis, it helps us to be able to reduce the cost of our for hall rentals for our local nonprofits, to continue to maintain just a really warm and welcoming spot for people in our community to get together and share their lives.
That's wonderful. And it's a great way, like you said, to keep up with the hall. And it's a fun way to raise that money to keep it
Absolutely.
running. And I know there's a huge crowd of theater lovers, and something like a dinner theater is so unique and just so fun to spend an evening. So that's a wonderful. Now going off of this year's show we're going to talk a little bit about, it will take audiences back to the Prohibition era. And that sounds fun in and of itself. So tell me about this show and how people can get dressed up and immerse themselves into this world.
Sure. Our show this year is called Pistols and Posies. It's by Christy Fredrickson, and it's produced in collaboration with Pioneer Drama Services. So yeah, it's set in the roaring 20s, like you said. We have mobsters, thugs, a famous opera singer, and a little family drama. A mobster named Primo Bologna has tricked his wife into thinking that he's running a florist's business, but really the cops are onto him, that it's maybe a little more than that. Yeah, and to add to the mood, we're inviting guests, if they choose, to dress in the themes. So get out flapper dresses, bow ties, pinstripes to join in the fun and help set the mood.
Yes, that definitely
And
does.
that's optional. Yeah.
Yeah, but it definitely adds something to it. It adds something fun to kind of get yourselves involved in the world, because something like dinner theater, it is more intimate, it is more, close knit. So that is amazing. Now, going off of the dinner side of the theater portion, what can people expect for the dinner? I understand that it's going to be a little bit different on Sunday than it is on Friday and Saturday. So kind of break down what people can expect throughout the night.
Yeah. So um, honestly, our theater is really just famous for its dinner. We have local cooks that get together, and everything is made fresh on the day. So Friday and Saturday, we're having roast beef dinner with all the fixings, our famous hall ham, salads, fruits, or I mean, sorry, salads and desserts. And Sunday will be a little bit different. The last couple of years, we've had stuffed roast pork, roast chicken, all the fixings that go along with that. And I haven't had a chance to confirm exactly the menu for Sunday, but I know it'll be delicious.
Yes, that sounds fantastic and definitely a great way to spend your evening all in all. Have a great meal while also watching a fantastic show as well. Now, for people who are interested in buying tickets, I understand that tickets are almost sold out. There are still some available, but they are selling quickly. So if you want tickets, definitely get on that right away. So, how can people get tickets? Where do they need to go, or who do they need to contact?
Yeah, so people who are looking for tickets can contact me. As you said, we're about two-thirds sold out for Saturday, about half sold for Friday, and then Sunday afternoon, there's a bit more availability. You can contact me either through kitscottyhall@gmail.com or my phone number is 780-808-1217.
That's wonderful. Now, just finally, just so people know, when is it taking place and where is it taking place, and what are the times that people can choose from?
Sure. So Friday, April 11th, doors open at 5:30. Dinner is at around 6:30, and the show to follow Saturday, April 12th, the same schedule. On Sunday, April 13th, the doors will open at noon. The lunch will be served at 1, and the show is at 2 o'clock.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you the best of luck for this year's dinner theater. I have no doubt that it's going to be spectacular.
Thank you. And thanks so much to Chad and all of you at Stingray. We really appreciate your support and the support of our many, many volunteers.
Now we'll take a quick look at your closing market numbers for today.
Today's oil prices are brought to you by First General Services.
Okay. The Lloydminster Ukrainian dancers have two exciting performances coming up, one on March 27th and the other on May 3rd. Our Andy Cormish got the opportunity to speak with the president of the Lloydminster Ukrainian Culture Association to learn more.
Today, I'm joined by Daryl Phillips, who is the president of the Malanka Dancers and Lloydminster Ukrainian Cultural Association. And today, we're just going to be talking about the Lloydminster Ukrainian Dancers yearly performance that is coming up. So, thank you so much for joining me today, Daryl. Would you be able to just start off by telling me a bit about the performance and what everybody can expect?
We actually have two events coming up. Our first one is March 27th to March 30th. That's at the Vic Juba, and it's called the Ukrainian Dancing on the Border Festival. This year we have over 450 dancers coming. We've expanded to 4 days due to overwhelming dance groups wanting to join. Previously it had been 3. We have 14 studios, 32 instructors from Saskatchewan and Alberta, and it's 4 days of celebrating Ukrainian culture. Dancers from the ages of 4 and 5 all the way up to adult groups. It's very exciting.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And then I know that there was one dance I saw that was called Vesna on the Border. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, so that's our second event. That'll be May 3rd. That's like our year-end celebration. Typically, we had a celebration for Ukrainian New Year's, and it was called Malanka, and we held that in January. The last couple of years, it's been so darn cold that we've decided to change it. We've called it Vesna, and that stands for like a spring fling. Hopefully, the weather will be nicer, and again, that'll be at the exhibition grounds. As usual, there's 400 tickets sold for sale. They go on sale March 15th. We have tons of Ukrainian food for dinner, and we have our dancers will put on a display. There'll be several dances prior to dinner. We have a silent auction, and we will have a dance to follow with the band Millennium from Edmonton. And they do a combination of Ukrainian music and traditional rock music.
Oh, okay, awesome. And then where are people able to purchase the tickets for the event?
You can go to our website and just Google Luka Malanka Dancers. It's Luca and then Malank Dancers. And our website will come up and there will be a link to purchase tickets.
Okay, perfect. And then what day and time is the event?
It'll be May 3rd, and I believe the doors open at 5.
Okay, perfect. And how have the dancers been preparing for this performance, as well as the other one that you were just saying?
We have weekly practices. We practice every Wednesday evening. And we have, once a month, we have choreography weekend. So we have our choreographer come from Saskatoon and work through some knee parts and kind of touch things up. And then little extra practices here and there as we need them.
Perfect. And then how long has this been? Has this been a tradition in the community for a few years, or how long?
Yeah, this is our 18th dance festival, which is the one in March. So that's been going on for quite a while. And this Vesna / Malanka celebration, it's been going on just as long. It's a pretty good community event.
Wow, awesome. And then is there just anything else you want to add for people that might be interested in attending or anything like that?
Yeah, at the festival we will have vendors and there'll be lots of food, and it's at the Vic Juba. We do encourage people to come out. It's Thursday to Sunday, so lots of opportunity to come and support us. We do have some great sponsors this year. We have the Ukrainian Canadian Council has sponsored us. Mary Browns of Lloydminster and the Cooperators Insurance, Jason Narden Associates have also donated to help us provide over 20 scholarships and awards separate from any medals that are received through the dancers.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's all the questions I have for you today, Daryl. Thank you so much for taking time every day to do this, and I look forward to hearing how the performance goes.
Perfect, thank you.
Coming up after the break, we'll get another look at the weather.
Welcome back. Let's take another look at your evening weather. Minus 12 right now in Lloydminster with that sun still shining. Not quite as much wind as there was yesterday, and definitely not as much snow blowing around, so that's always nice. The wind is making it feel like minus 21, so a little bit cooler feeling, but we can handle it. We've handled a lot worse, and you can see it's around the same pretty well everywhere else in Cold Lake and Athabasca. Minus 11, Whitecourt and Edmonton minus 10, Edson and Red Deer minus 9, Rocky Mountain House minus 7, and Jasper minus 5. Minus 10 in Meadow Lake and North Battleford, as well as Melfort. Prince Albert is minus 8 and Saskatoon minus 9. Moving up north, Uranium City and Stony Rapids are at minus 12. Wollaston Lake, South End Radier, La Loche and Buffalo Narrows minus 13, and Flin Flon minus 11. In high level, it's minus 10, as well as Grand Prairie, Fort Chippewan and Fort McMurray minus 12, and Peace River and Slave Lake minus 11. Little bit warmer as we move down south, but still some cooler temperatures in Coronation at minus 11, Calgary minus 6, Banff minus 4, Medicine Hat minus 3, and Lethbridge minus 1. In Kindersley, it's minus 11, Yorkton minus 9, Regina, Moose Jaw, and Swift Current are all minus 8, and Estevan is minus 5. Now taking a look at tonight in North Battleford, it's going to be minus 18, becoming clear and colder as that night progresses, and that wind will just be at 15 kilometers an hour with a very low chance of precipitation. Now tonight in Cold Lake, it's going to be quite a bit cooler, minus 23, and the clouds will be gone. but in exchange, it'll be some very cold weather, only a 25% chance of any precipitation, and that wind will only be blowing at 7 kilometers an hour. Now tonight here in Lloydminster, partly cloudy and cold, minus 18, with that wind probably going to make it feel a little bit colder, maybe in those minus 20 somewhere, but an average night that we've been having this week. Now taking a look at some more nightly temperatures, in Meadow Lake and Provost it's minus 20, Bonnyville minus 23, Isla Cross minus 17, and Paradise Hill minus 21. So some cool nights, and those cool nights will also be in Murnum and Pearseland at minus 21, Unity and Wainwright at minus 20, and then Calgary a little bit warmer at minus 12, but in exchange they get those flurries. Nobody walks out empty-handed. Now taking a look at your 7-day forecast, you can see at the end of next week it's going to start to warm up, but for this weekend, for now, it's going to be a little bit cooler. Tomorrow, very cold with that high of minus 10, and then it will progressively warm up as we make our way through that weekend. Sunday, minus 8, Monday, minus 6, and then Tuesday, minus 2, before we get into those positive temperatures. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and we're starting to brave through this little rough patch of winter that we got in March here.
Yeah, it seems like you kind of mentioned there, light at the end of the tunnel. Next week, gonna warm up a bit, which is good.
That's right.
That is all the time we have today for Primetime Local News. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend.